Hello, welcome to another terrain review. Today we're going to be having a look at the Industrial Ruins set by UrbanMatz. Now, as always, this is an honest review. Everything you see is bought with my own money, so I'll see what I like and I will give you the good and the bad if there is any. Now this set is almost a direct answer to the, I believe it was called the Necropolis set or something like that, that GameMat.eu used to put out. It looked very similar to this. They don't seem to have it anymore. I don't know whether they've taken it down to do some tweaking and put it back up sometime, or if it's just gone forever. They do have a similar looking set called the Fallout Zone, which is fairly similar to this, but this set in particular definitely, I think, really mirrors the older Necropolis set that GameMat put out. I haven't got to play with this set yet. It's really nice looking. I only got out the box recently. I haven't got any problems with it. We will obviously put it out on the table so you can see it on a 6x4 table in a minute with all the models, and I'll take you through all the details and how things size up and that sort of thing. But just as the introduction, I'm pretty happy with this set so far. I think you get a lot for your money. And one of the good things about UrbanMatz that I like is you can buy all the parts separately. So if you wanted to get a set, but you wanted a few particular items extra, like maybe some more of these pipe sections, or the larger building sections, or the small or medium building sections, you can just buy them separately. And I forgot to mention this with my industrial, my sci-fi terrain review that I just did, but it's the case for all the terrain that UrbanMatz make. You can buy it in the large sets, you can buy half sets, or you can buy every piece individually. I really like that flexibility, that customizability. I think you don't even need to buy a full set if you just want to buy a few pieces, a few particular pieces, the big one. If you just want a big piece of terrain, they do, but you don't want the rest of it, you can just buy it. I think that's really great. It also makes it easy if they need to send you a replacement, for a part that's broken. Not the case for me with this set, but would be easy if that was the case. So let's have a look at it all spread out on the table. Okay, here is the UrbanMatz Industrial Ruins set out over a full 6x4 table. I can't quite get the whole table in frame, but I think I can get most of it. Now, as you can see, it covers it quite well. I haven't set it out as well as I could have done in terms of covering the board. I tend to bog myself down by sticking to the pre-established structures on the board. But if you wanted to maybe turn them diagonally or something, or just separate them out in any other way, I think you could get even better board coverage than this. But to be honest with you, I think aside from maybe adding some rubble, some sort of crates and boxes and that sort of thing, you wouldn't really need much more coverage in terms of big buildings than this, I wouldn't think, unless you really wanted a more dense city fight type situation. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this set costs €135, and I think for the price, this is a really good amount of stuff. I remember just being impressed getting out the box recently, because it's a new order for me. I haven't even played on this yet. And I think that for €135 on its own, or when compared to other available sets, I think this is actually a really good amount of terrain. It's definitely a good table's worth. Again, you could maybe do with buying some crates and things from another seller, but in terms of just getting a base set straight out the box, I don't think for £135 you can go wrong or do much better. This is easily enough terrain if you wanted to just buy, if you're a beginner player or something and you wanted to just buy one set of terrain and one battle mat, that sort of thing. I'd say this would definitely be a good set to go for. Now, as you can see, once again, I've set a bit of an army out over the place just so you can hopefully see how it interacts with models. I'm going to go through things individually, so you can really see how things fit on. So I'll start over here. So this is the smallest ruin part that it comes with. You get 4 of these. They look like that from this side, or that from this side. They're quite nice, as you can see. They're big enough for a dreadnought to be completely hidden by inside. And if we just come over here, as you can see, you can easily hide a rhino, or potentially maybe a whirlwind-sized thing. I'm not sure how much more height you've got to spare, but definitely covers a rhino well enough. So they're a good size. You could get probably five men behind there easily enough. So you get 4 of those. I'm quite happy with these. I think they're quite nice. There's no windows in them or anything. They're just straight line of sight blocking. You've got the little platforms there if you want to put people on the outside. You get 4 pieces of pipe like this. And they're quite nice. They're a good size. You can get a nice squad behind those. They're fairly well covered. Larger Terminator size models can fit behind them fairly well. And you can, I've got them coming out of my buildings, but if you want to, you can make a larger system by putting them all together. I do think you can buy these separately. If you wanted to buy some more sets, I think that you can buy these separately. I know for sure that UrbanMatz sell half sets, and I'm pretty sure that they actually sell every piece individually. I don't know if that's true for this particular set, but I know it's certainly true for some of their other sets. If it's not true for this set, you can definitely buy a half set if you wanted to maybe not quite double the size of the amount that you have, but add some to it. I think that another half on top of this would be quite good actually. It would allow you to be a bit denser without going overboard. So next you've got also 4 of these medium pieces. You get 4 of these in the set. As you can see, you've got a nice squad of 5 on the outer ledge there. They're actually tall enough for you to be able to fit a whole dreadnought underneath the level, so that's quite good. Likewise, you could get the Predator or at least a Rhino without the top on it underneath if you wanted to squeeze it in. As you can see, it clearly hides the Predator. It would easily hide a Rhino. The Mauler Fiends could be easily hidden behind it if I just pick him up, put him there. Can't see him anymore. The Vindicator there, sitting looking up between them, he's easily hidden from either direction. They have a good amount of space on top. I've got 3 Obliterators there. They're not the new base size, but still you could easily get a squad of 5 Terminators up there. And maybe somewhere on the outside you can fit 40mm bases on the outside. So that's a good amount of space. Oh, here we go. I've got a Rhino inside that one. So I really like this. It's really frustrating when the levels are too short to actually fit models in, but this is definitely not a worry with this set. The Land Raider, easily hidden behind even the medium-sized ones. And then the last pieces that you get are these tool sections. You get 2 of these, one there and one there. You get 2 of these in the set, and as you can see, these have got 2 levels. You can fit the Terminators on them easily enough. You've got a good amount of space on top. And if you come back here, they do have windows in the second level and the bottom level, so it's obviously line of sight blocking in terms of obscuring, but if you were playing with a model that couldn't benefit because it had more than 18 wounds and that sort of thing, then it might not hide it, but it's still good, and it's nice to be able to shoot out of a ruin, because of course if you're in the bottom level of these medium ones you wouldn't be able to shoot out. There's no windows in there. I really like these. I will just bring up one problem, because it's fair to, I think, address everything. This isn't just a positive review. If there are any problems, I'll point them out. Though I will say I don't have many problems with this set. I've looked over the pieces. They all seem to be formed quite well. There's nothing I would have complained about. They're pretty good. The paint is good for for this kind of thing. But there is one main issue where I'll just take my Terminators down so I don't break them. As you can maybe see, I'm not sure if I can get the angle on this camera, but they do lean forwards a bit. They're sort of leaning forwards, and it doesn't take much. If you were playing a game, it doesn't take much to just tip them over. And I know that we all do knock terrain when we play it like that. If you're just trying to pick up dice or some models, they're definitely ready to go. And if you had a whole rank of models on the outside there, or just some stood underneath, it could be pretty bad because they are quite hefty. I think that they could have easily solved this problem by just having a third layer on the bottom, like a sort of pavement level. But they don't, so that's definitely a shame. But it's really the only problem I have with this set, and I think that it's not going to happen. You know, really, it's not going to happen that easily, but it's definitely something that you need to be at least a little bit wary of. So I think that's everything I need to show you and need to talk about. So I think we will just go back to my conclusion now. Okay then, so now that we've seen that, I'll just give my summary. My overall review is, I think this is a great set. I'm really happy with the amount that you get for the money it costs you. I don't think you could ask for better, to be honest. You get a lot of pieces here for the €135. You know, I mentioned the set that UrbanMatz made earlier, the old Necropolis set. That used to be pretty much half the size of this. You got, you know, like one big piece, two medium pieces, some small pieces, pretty much half this set for way more. I think it's like £180, £190, nearly £200. I remember looking at it back in the day and thinking, oof, you know, if I actually bought enough for a table, it would cost me nearly £400. I wasn't willing to do it. I don't have the set. The only people I've ever seen with that set are the people that get it for free cents from. Maybe, you know, it didn't sell and that's why they're not doing it anymore. Or it could pop up again if they're just tweaking it, I'm not sure. But in any case, unlike that set, this is a good set in terms of value for money. It's got some good playability, you know, the levels are well structured, you can really fit some good units on the levels. You know, aside from the one problem I mentioned about maybe tipping over for these taller sections, it's great. I definitely would recommend it for, you know, if you just wanted to buy one set of terrain and a mat if you were starting out. I definitely recommend it for that. And, you know, if you already have a lot and you're just looking for a good sci-fi set to expand, I think it's a good choice. And I like this set because finding, you know, ruins for a sci-fi system, you can buy, you know, find castle ruins and things everywhere. But for, you know, sci-fi looking ruins, they're actually pretty tough to come across. That aren't just, you know, gothic stone ruins, which there's loads around. You know, this set, it gives you a good option, I think, that you might not find. I haven't got another set like this, I don't think, that's, you know, purely sci-fi ruins, apart from the Games Workshop's own terrain, but, you know, that's not pre-painted and pre-built. So, you know, in terms of the pre-painted, pre-built terrain market, this is, you know, it's pretty good. There's not much else like it, I don't think, now that UrbanMatz stopped doing their Necropolis set or whatever it was called. The Fallout Zone set they do is pretty cool looking. I will probably buy it at some point. Although, again, it's about half the size of this and the same price, and that's just a UrbanMatz thing. But, you know, that's up to them, and that's up to you. So, you know, thanks for watching this. I hope it was helpful a little bit, and I'll see you for the next one. Hello, and welcome to another terrain review. Today we're going to be having a look at the UrbanMatz industrial ruins. Keep fucking up.